Palworld, the game that is almost known throughout the whole world at this point. The new 2-month craze, if you will. Pokemon with guns is what this game has been known for since it was announced. But honestly, the game is a lot more than that. I've been interested in this game since the announcement of it, because I thought it was either going to be so bad it's good, or for the fact it was going to be fun. So I decided to start my adventure, and this video is about my first 2 hours in the game, and what my experiences were. So if you do like this video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I know we are a bit away from the goal that I had set for January, trying to hit 100 subs, but I know that we can do it if we really try. If not, I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, and we can just shoot for 100 subscribers in February. With that shameless plug out of the way, let's get on to the video. For the start of the game, it looks janky as hell. The menus do not look like beta at all. They look like the start of alpha. I think they just look super unpolished, but it is honestly not the end of the world. It is just a menu. I start my playthrough by naming my island Destiny Island, of course, and then going to the world presets. They are absolutely incredible. They are so customizable, all from changing spawn rates of pals, the size of the world, how slow or fast you get tired and hungry. It's just amazing. I love it when games are like this. It gives a lot of replayability and just overall choices in if you want to do any challenge runs. But I will say character customization is super lacking. While I do get to make myself a Witcher, there are very limited face options, hair options, and the body size is pretty much you're just either big and or small. When the game boots up, you see not TM Pokemon that are actually kind of cute, and you get to the not TM Breath of the Wild world and not TM Breath of the Wild tablet, and you are off on your new adventure. And I know this is a joke and all, but the opening and the world of this game really just does feel like and look like Breath of the Wild. It does feel a little uninspired and a little lazy. But going forward, the game starts by telling you to read your survival guide, which I totally did, definitely didn't ignore it and just run around. And playing the opening of the game, I was a bit surprised. I honestly thought this game would be more like Pokemon with guns, but it feels more like a survival game with Pokemon-like creatures thrown into it. It's kinda like Ark, I guess, when you think about it, but with these cute little monster things instead of big scary-ass dinosaurs. It's a bit odd, but it is kinda fun. I start by gathering some things like wood and rocks to make tools. I see I can make a bow in the crafting bench, and I do want that almost right away, so I know what my first goal is. While looking around for the materials that I want for the bow, I found a pal dancing in the background having a good old time, but when I went to go to it, I realized that the controls are not great on controller. I am old, my wrists hurt, I cannot play mouse and keyboard very well, so it feels super off and not ready to have controller support comparing the two. It just feels like they threw it in last minute just to have it, and I am not a big fan. Even with the struggling controls, I upgraded myself with a bow, an axe, and a pickaxe, which gave me enough strength to get my first pal. By shooting it with a bunch of arrows, you know, how you make a friend in any new age. I get some more pals, upgrade myself a bit, and finally figuring out how to unlock skill points, since on controller the game did not tell you what the buttons were on launch day, so you kind of had to figure it out by yourself. I am just playing the game at this point, gathering building and resource stuff, but then I hear a weird noise in the background. So I look around and it sounded shiny. My shiny hunting brain triggered into action, and so while looking around, I see a big ass chicken in the water that's going very sparkle sparkle. I, curious, go to investigate what it is. I honestly thought it might have been a static spawn from the way it looked and the way it was positioned. I am fighting myself with the choice of if I want to kill this thing or capture it. It wasn't a different color, so I wasn't super sure. After a minute, I decided to catch it. And as I do, I see an icon on its picture. This was not a static spawn. This was a quote-unquote shiny. And man, it's not even a different color. It's just bigger. Neat! In this point of the recording, I have probably been playing for an hour just gathering resource materials, so with my new pals in hand, I decided to build up a base, get some food, and finally make a house. Honestly, for how weird and wild this game is, and to me it feels a little off by how much they ripped off of other games, but I am actually having a blast with it. It's fun to play, and it is funny with all the stuff that happens in the game. Like shooting little pals with arrows and them getting pissed off at you and getting attacked. But you then panic and you accidentally kill it even though you wanted to catch it. Which has totally not happened to me. That is not a situation that I have just retold in my gameplay. You are definitely not seeing gameplay footage of it right now. No. But while building my house with my pals, I did notice a huge flaw while I was playing. The building controls on controller are awful. At the time of the recording, I noticed that there were no button screen prompts, while there are button screen prompts now, which made it a big issue while trying to build a house. I thought I just had to figure out all the buttons myself. There were just straight up features missing in building on controller that keyboard had. No matter how hard I tried, I could not rotate pieces on controller, and I could not dismantle anything on controller either. I was planning on building a nice, really big house with all my pals getting them all space for their bed, but I just had to go with this boring ass box because the building was so broken and I was just getting fed up with trying. This is the first thing they need to fix, which I'm pretty sure they already did, so I am glad, but it was still a very big annoyance while recording the footage. Getting past all the frustration of building, I decide it's finally time to upgrade my gear. Finally, I get some clothes that again totally do not look like Zelda clothes and go out to explore the world a bit. I wanted to see more of the new pals and see what the game had to offer. So I walked around, I found some nice good old loot, and while looking around, I finally found a new pal. It was a little firefox that I absolutely love. I am not a big fire type fan in Pokemon, and man, this thing is just so cute. I do not even care that it is a fire type. Foxes are my favorite animal, and it just looks absolutely adorable. I love it. Getting close to the end of the first session of the game that I had recorded, I caught my new pal friend, looked around some more, but I really wanted a grass type pal. But while looking around for that, I found this water penguin. And I am not going to lie, this one annoyed me a little bit. This is so clearly ripped off of Piplup, and while I do like this game and how stupid fun it is, I am a little annoyed at the laziness of some of the PAL designs. They just look like Pokemon, and most of them look straight up ripped off of some Pokemon. Personally, it does leave a tiny bit of a bad taste in my mouth. You can design pals to be nods and influences of certain Pokemon, but don't just use an AI program to make quote-unquote new Piplup. It just feels like you were not trying, in my opinion, and again, is coming into a little bit of a laziness, which I do not like. But that is my last rant I had about my first time playing this game for the 2-hour recording I had, and it is getting a little close to the end of the recording that I did in this initial set. And I am honestly having a lot of fun with this game, even with the couple of rants I had. I just want the game to fix and improve the things that not only I have noticed, but others I have talked to have noticed as well. I truly feel like this game could not be just a fad, as most people are thinking it is going to be. If it gets the proper care and attention it needs from the devs, I feel like this game could go on for a little while. So this is getting close to the end of the session that I had, and I have a couple more things that I wanted to do before the video ended. I gathered some more loot, finally caught the grass type pal that I wanted. He's a little flan guy, he is very silly. And the last thing that I wanted to do for the end of the video was create my glider. So I teleport back to base. I do have the necessary materials to make the glider, and once the glider is made, I feel like the first session that I have is complete. With my new glider in hand, I look out towards the ledge on this new brilliant world, just in store for tons of adventures to be had. I think about what the next adventures has in store for me, and is this game going to stick around longer than I think? The only way to find out is to keep going forward and maybe have a part 2. So this is the first 2 hours of gameplay that I had recorded. If you did like this video, please let me know if you do want a part 2. I know this game is a big sensation right now, so it honestly could be a lot of fun. I also actually have some ideas for challenge runs on this game, so please let me know if you want to see any of those as well. The one that I have in mind in particular is, can you beat Palworld as a Witcher? So if you do want to see that, please make sure you do throw it down in the comments. And if you made it to the very end of the video, please make sure again to hit that like button and subscribe. It honestly really does help out the channel, and I've been so appreciative of all the support that I have been getting recently. It means the absolute world to me. This is also the first time I have done an impressions video like this, as I normally just talk about what I like and do not like about games. So if you did like this style, please make sure you let me know if you want to see more of this type of video. Especially with that new Grand Blue game coming out and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth along with Persona 3 Reload, there is just a lot of games that I want to cover coming up. But with that said, my name is Riku, and I hope you have a magical rest of your day. Take care.